My name is Helen Adekemi, the convener of Marriage on the Rock and Singles with Purpose. For the past few weeks, we've been considering why there has been so many fall aparts and why we have been having too many separations in marriage. Today we want to consider communication breakdown as one of the major factors why marriages break apart. It is the inability to communicate effectively with each other. And as relationship, you cannot expect like a relationship to thrive or to survive without communication. Communication is basic in every form of relationship, especially in marriage. So when there has been ineffective form of communication, when there is like a wall standing between spouses in marriage, when communication has been broken down in marriages, what do we expect? A lot of misunderstanding, a lot of unresolved conflict. When two souls can no longer reach each other, there will be, of course, a lot of emotional distance between husband and wife. And often there would be like that feeling of not being heard, like you have not been heard, my husband cannot hear me, my wife cannot really understand me. And before you know it, there will be complete and total fall apart between husband and wife. This is one of the major reasons why we have marriages falling apart in recent times. When two souls, when two minds, when two hearts can no longer connect. Sometimes the heart could connect and then the mind will not be able to connect. And then there are other times when the souls are connecting, but still our intellect, the mind, will stop us from connecting. All these can result into communication breakdown, and then there we go. The marriage itself is heading towards collapse if care is not taken down. How do you identify? Because all of this does not just start in a day, it's progressive. So like the first thing you will notice in that your marriage, when you are when you are marching towards communication breakdown, is that there will be a lot of criticism, conflict, disagreement, and even complaints. The second stage towards communication breakdown in marriage is when both of you, or either maybe one of you, are no longer feeling so loved towards each other. All you can feel is contempt. You are no longer satisfied. You have that feeling of, could it be anger? Could it be rage? Could it be hatred? Could it be bitterness? All of this mixed up together because you have a big gulf in between of you caused by lack of communication or ineffective communication. That means that such marriage is heading towards collision. Of course, it could break down completely and it could cause a lot of misunderstanding, even separation, if care is not taken. So when you are feeling such a contempt towards your spouse, please, it is a red flag that you should please take cognizance of. Not only you taking cognizance of it, but begin to think about the possible solution so that your marriage will not hit the rock. I'll go to the third stage in communication breakdown, that is defensiveness. What do I mean by defensiveness? Okay, now it has become counter and then counter attack. You attack your spouse, then he counter attack you in return. So it is not like you are playing game. You are looking out for a winner because nobody wants to admit their fault. Accountability is lacking. When you even do something that is very wrong and when your spouse is calling your attention to that, and you could always come up with like a form of defense. Oh, come on, don't spill it on me. You are always on the defensive side. If that kind of marriage should continue for a while, it will become so bitter. It is actually a signal that your marriage is heading towards communication breakdown. And then the fourth one is the denial. You find yourself just denying everything. And even in the process, blame shifting, attack and then counter attack. You have minimizing, downplaying, like you justifying yourself all the time. No matter what your spouse is calling your attention to, that, oh, I really didn't like this. There you are, you deny. Denial. As time goes on, you begin to shift blaming. It is me. Even when you are responsible, you still really want to blame your counterpart. This is a very good signal for you to know that you are heading towards communication breakdown in your marriage. Last signal I want us to consider is the stonewalling. Refusing to answer questions. I just chose to refuse to answer. You refuse to respond. You play dumb all the time. I don't want to speak to you, so you keep mute. The silent treatment. Sometimes you can even give a very brief, yes, I know, it's okay, fine, whatever. All those kind of answers, they are all signaling that something is not right in your communication in that marriage. And then there are other times you could give dismissing answers. Whatever you do, it's fine. Just go ahead. Like, you just have to open your mouth just to dismiss. You are no longer in the mood for conversation. It is an indication that your marriage is becoming toxic, and with time you might hit the rock. You might even become silent. There are other times you avoid eye contact. You're unresponsive. You're just there in your own box, like a cubicle you created for yourself. You are just in there, locked up within yourself. Unresponsiveness, it's a signal that you are heading towards communication breakdown in your family. When you already diagnose your marriage to be undergoing communication breakdown, please, the first thing I want you to do is that please pause. Okay, pause, slow down, stop. Yeah, you could stop. Allow your logical mind to please catch up with you. Use your mind sometimes. You can pause, please stop. I experienced this some years in my own marriage too, like we couldn't reach each other. There are several times we drive home together, dead silence. I'm not talking to you, you are not talking to me. We can barely have one successful communication. It was tough. At that point, I felt and I thought that probably I have reached the end of the road. So please, if you are going through communication breakdown in your marriage, please pause. Allow your logical mind to catch up with your emotions, to gain and then to understand the perspective of the situation. Other perspective, of course. You cannot be an island. You can't be the only solution giver. Your idea might not be the best at all times. So please take a break, pause, okay, stop, and let your mind do some magic for you. Then you will be able to understand, you will listen better, and then you accept. The second one I want you to know, the second solution is that please slide. Drop the defensiveness, okay? Drop the pride. And then please drop the desire to always dominate every conversation. It is unhealthy. When you now try to analyze yourself critically, why do we always argue? Why do we always have conflicting ideas? And why do we always have misunderstanding, disagreement, and all of that? Most of the time, it could be pride, because you wanted to be the one to always dominate every conversations, every decisions. You want your own will to be done at all time. Hey, please hold on there, because you are not God. The only will that should be done in your marriage should be the will of God. Simple. You know what? You don't really need to come up with well-crafted counter attacks at every attacks. Learn to swallow your pride occasionally. So instead of you to be fighting for dominion in your marriage, please instead foster love and understanding. There is no need for your will to be done, just as I have said before. Let the will of God be done. So you apply love occasionally because you will need to love your wife just like Christ loved the church. There are times you just let it slide because you have to love her. And then my gender, there are other times that you will need to slide because actually your place in that marriage is under your husband. Submit, let him do whatever he feels is necessary, and then pray for him, of course. Please roll it. In marriage, your focus should be on how to foster reconciliation. Like, okay, even when we disagree, how do we reconcile? How do we bring back our love? How do we bring understanding instead of misunderstanding ourselves? So please roll it over, okay? Roll it over. Learn to now fight fairly. It is not fight to finish. There should be no way for fight to finish in our home. Roll it over, please, and focus. Don't focus. Stop focusing on winning. Focus on how to foster understanding and then reconciliation. Bring a portion of the Bible to us so that we can understand the importance of communication. And this is found in the book of Genesis chapter 11. You remember? The builders, the people on the earth at that time wanted to build a tower so that it could reach up to God. I'm referring to the Tower of Babel. That is the importance of communication. That if you have like a balanced communication in your family, in your marriage, believe you me, you will progress faster and everything in your family will be in order. It will be progressive. When those people came together, speaking the same language, and they have the same understanding, having the agreement of what they wanted to do. Even God himself knew that these people are up to something, and if I did not disband their language, and that is what the devil does sometimes by injecting some dosage of confusion into our communication in our family. Please come to terms today. I am calling us to order that do not allow the devil to disband your home, injecting confusion through communication. I pray the Lord helps you, and I pray that your family stands strong and then pass the test of time. Thank you. God bless you. If you have any inquiry, please contact 07037150154